Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. An interesting setup for us this morning. I think we've got another hour or two before those rain chances start getting into our area. Hopefully, it'll hold off a little longer so people can get their morning commutes in. We can get the kids on the buses and get them to school before that rain gets here. We'll be tracking that through the next couple of hours. Temperatures are in the 70s in most spots, and this is probably going to be some of the warmest parts of the day before things start to change this afternoon, eventually when the winds shift and we start to bring in a little bit of cooler air. The much cooler air is not going to get here till Sunday, behind the second good chance to get wet, and maybe some more storms in the forecast on Sunday. For our Thursday, we're watching some activity up towards Enterprise, Alabama, through Dothan, Alabama, all the way down to the Funiac Springs, and not quite to Panama City Beach just yet. There's been some flooding concerns. There's actually been a couple of severe thunderstorm concerns way off to the north and west. I don't see any of that right now. A couple of showers are finally starting to make it to Blakely, not quite to Colquitt or Donaldsonville just yet, but the farther west you are, the sooner the rain will get to where you are. The farther east you are, the longer you're going to have to wait for that rain to arrive. And this is one of those that's moving fairly consistently, but not all that fast, and more looks like it's going to be developing to our south and west and being dragged across the area as this boundary makes its progress. And that likely means a prolonged period of those showers and some thunderstorms, maybe all the way past lunchtime into the afternoon hours. It's 70 right now in Thomasville. Tallahassee and Valdosta starting off at 73. Pretty gusty breezes out there, mostly from the south and southwest, up over 10 miles per hour. And I think that's going to continue through the morning, too, until we get to the other side of the boundary and we turn those winds around from the northwest and north. You see all the numbers. Upper 60s, low and mid 70s. These would be warm daytime highs this time of year, so temperatures are not going to be the story today. Neither is that breeze, which is noticeable, bringing in the warm and humid, but we got a lot to watch with those rain chances. Now, the visibility numbers, they're all up near 10 miles until we get to Dothan where the rain's coming down, and that's reducing the visibility down below 1 mile. So you see how this has been making its slow and steady progress overnight and early this morning, and you can see some of these polygons that pop up in parts of Alabama for some flooding concerns where they're getting several inches of rain as this moves slowly and steadily from west to east. Now, this is the first boundary in a series of boundaries that'll impact our forecast. We get a little taste of higher pressure in between this one and the next one that'll bring with it the more significant changes, because the air way off to the north and west that'll get here by Monday is much cooler. Let's go back to today's rain chances, and we'll talk about this. Most of the way the computers are handling it, I think at least this one, it's got a pretty good initialization, maybe just a little bit fast in bringing it into our area. So we're expecting probably 7, 8, 9 o'clock, depending on how far west or east you are, for the rains to start moving across the area. So that gives you a fighting chance, especially if you're coming into Tallahassee or someplace close by, maybe to get that morning commute in, before 9. But I think we've got a plan for those showers to get here maybe a little sooner than that, and then it's going to work its way through the area. My concern ends up being if we end up stuck with these wave after wave after wave of showers that go all the way into the afternoon or even late into the afternoon, and that could really pile up some water. So we'll be watching to see what kind of accumulations we're talking about. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a couple of inches in some places. So we haven't had much rain over the past couple of weeks. This is likely to be a whole bunch all at once, unless it can speed up and get moving a little bit faster. So I think we have another hour, maybe 2 if we're lucky, before the rain gets to where you are, depending on how far west or east. And then I think it's going to be several hours that we're getting wet this morning. So outdoor plans this morning, not great. On the Gulf today, winds start south, turn northwest 10 to 20. We'll call it breezy. There'll be rain, there'll be storms for a good chunk of the day, and then we'll turn those winds around and start to clear things out, at least temporarily. 60s and 70s with the rain and storms. I've got the rain chance at 90%. We're going to get wet this morning. We're likely still going to be wet for at least part of the afternoon. The showers will eventually fizzle. The temperatures that are probably going to start off in the low 70s are going to stay there, then start coming down. Tonight we'll see the temperatures get a little lower than they've been in a while. Those front numbers are going to be a 4 tomorrow morning. So a little clearing and a little cooling. This is just a little step back, because as we get to Sunday, we talk about another wave of showers and maybe some bigger thunderstorms. I see much cooler air coming behind that for early next week, and that's what we see here in the 7-day forecast. I like the setup for Valentine's Day. Still a pretty good one for any kind of outdoor plans on Saturday. But Sunday, another shot for showers and storms behind that. Breezy and cooler for Monday and Tuesday. And you know what? There could be some more rain chances in the middle of next week. So a much more active weather pattern. It's here, and it looks like it's going to be here for the next week or so. And with that active pattern, not only comes rain chances and storm opportunities, but much cooler air too.